Yeah, so see with the electrical, I know the electricians, they're gonna be in here tomorrow, and then they'll be here all weekend, and they'll be coming in here, and they'll be installing all their electrical outlet boxes, their junction boxes, their light switch boxes, their ceiling fan locations, their light can locations on wherever they go, and they look on the plans for all that. And funny thing, on the electrical drawing, okay, the only thing on most residential plans, I find this humorous kind of, is they show where all the locations are going to go, but they don't have a schematic as to what circuit goes where and how many electrical outlets are going to be on this circuit as opposed to that circuit, as opposed to the light switches for the lights for here, as opposed for the lights that are over here, as opposed to where the hardwired smoke alarm wires are going to go and the circuits are going to go. That's all up to the electrician, okay? He figures out all that kind of stuff. The electrical inspector, he doesn't even look at that. He doesn't care. All he's going to look at is making sure that the electrical outlets are installed at the right height, and that's something really important. Hopefully the plans will show you. If they don't, and if you're the electrician, you've got to know that. You don't want to put your electrical outlets just slightly too low and then have the inspector say, hey, you know what handicap code is, or it's got to be up at 16, not 14, or whatever it is. You know, don't quote me on that. That's just an example. So, and there's a rhyme and reason as to the height of your light switch boxes, your height of your electrical outlet boxes. And funny thing was, years ago, when we built some houses on the electrical, any wall, and I found this kind of funny, any wall that was like over 3 feet long, what was it, 3 feet long or 2 feet long, had to have an electrical outlet on it, no matter what. And I thought, well, how come is that? And so I don't know if that's what code is nowadays or not. But see, all of these areas are going to have light switches, going to have electrical outlets, are going to have ceiling fan locations, are going to have light fixture locations, are going to have smoke alarm locations, are going to have, you know, you've got to figure out, are you going to have, what type of blinds are you going to have? Are you going to have electric operated blinds? And maybe wiring has to go for that, or low voltage wiring on all of the areas where you're going to have electric blinds. Are you going to have a computer system for internet all over the place? The electrician won't be worried about that, but are you going to have Cat5 cabling run throughout it? Are you going to have it all techie? And if so, you're going to have to talk to somebody about that. The electrician probably won't pull any of that. You'll have to find someone else. Are you going to have telephones? Are you going to have telephones in here or not? I don't know if they even require it nowadays. You know, all those types of things. You'll probably find all that on your set of plans. And that goes for on your plans. If you see something that is not on your plans, you better write a list and ask questions. You can call up your electrical inspector. You can call up the person who drew the plans. You can talk to the owner, if you're not the owner of the place, and say, hey, I got a question about this or that or whatever. And don't be too surprised if the owner comes out here and he wants a couple extra things. Hey, we forgot about this, we forgot about that. Can you put us an electrical outlet over there? Can you put us one over here? Can you do this over here? Can you do this? We wanted some lights, some real techie lights underneath the cabinets in the kitchen, or in an area where we're going to have a little studio, or in an area where we're going to have a movie theater. And we forgot about the low overhanging lights for the stairs and for this and for that. Boo, 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 boo. You know, don't be too surprised if you're going to get if you're going to get all kinds of stuff like that too. Okay, and here's the other thing you got to be prepared for too. If you're the electrician, do you want to put in all your stuff first? And I think you would want to get all your lights installed properly, your can lights and all that kind of stuff before. You know, they got to find out, hey, is there going to be fire sprinklers required in this house or not? You don't want the fire sprinklers to be installed first and then find out, oh shoot, that fire sprinkler is exactly where my light layout is supposed to be, my air conditioning register is supposed to be, my smoke alarm is supposed to be, you know, whatever. Those you can slightly stagger those, depending if you're going to have fire sprinklers throughout. And some places are going to require it, other places are not. Okay, so that's kind of up to you to figure that out. Oh! Hey, look at that! Look at that! Okay, I'm gonna have to put this on another set of videos because remember I showed you before the trusses went up and then they went straight across. And I thought they're going to have a flat roof up there. How come they built the trusses like that? And today when I was walking by, it almost looked like I saw a peak way up high. And I do see a peak way up high. And look at that. Look at that. See that up there? That's a peak now. And because on the flat trusses that went up and across, that now there's another truss on top of that, a small truss that now goes up even higher. I don't know why they did that. Maybe for some reason they couldn't get it designed and for it to spec out properly with these other trusses going up any higher, and they had to go straight across there for some reason, because those trusses, you remember, those trusses go from where that beam is, okay, straight up, and they go all the way over to there. We're getting kind of dark. You just have to kind of humor me. All the way over to there, and maybe for some reason they couldn't get a truss designed properly to hold the load for it to go all the way up to a peak. So they did it square. They did it flat, because remember I was saying they're having a flat roof up there. How come they got a flat roof up there? And I was thinking they had a height restriction and all that kind of stuff. Well, I was wrong. No height restriction. They have more trusses that they put on top of those flat ones. Isn't that something? Kaboom. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or more trusses. And that was funny, because I was thinking they still had more trusses out there. I wasn't quite sure what all these extra trusses were for. Now see, some of those trusses, see all those, where on earth do those go? And maybe those could go out in the back still, because there's this truss comes out at a point. That truss end comes out at a point, and on that end, it's kind of hard to see it, but it doesn't come out at a point. It goes straight up about 2.5 feet. And then it comes across, and I'll bet you those, and they've got different sizes, boom, 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 and I'll wager that those could possibly be the ones that hit on top of this, but I'm not quite sure about that, because I thought there might be some windows in here, and so I didn't know if there was going to be trusses out here. That's going to remain a mystery until they put those trusses up, because I know those trusses are here for a reason, and most of the roof is pretty much done except that area, and I think all of those trusses are designed to fit there. Maybe there's a couple more trusses that need to be put on here, but I thought maybe they'll go on here. But see, I think that's a small window, big window, and a small window they haven't cut out yet, so those trusses could not fit there, could they? Unless they fit, coming across this way. But we'll just have to remember that, and next time, or actually when those trusses go in, the rest of the trusses go in. Of course, I'll show you what the front looks like, what the remaining section looks like. All these trusses here look like they're stacked on top of the roof here. Boom, 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 boom. They've got some smaller ones here. They got the bigger ones on top of there, because they're going to flop the bigger ones up here, walk them over. That's what this little plank. Walk the plank, matey. That's what this plank is for. Okay, one guy's going to be in the middle, one guy's going to be on that wall, one guy's going to be over here, and they're going to flop the first one up, and then they're going to shimmy it over here, kaboink. Then they're going to take the next one, flop it up, kaboink, flop it up, kaboink, flop it up, kaboink, flop it up, kaboink. And then they've got the smaller ones after they get these top ones. So does it matter how you stack a roof? Yes, of course it matters how you stack the roof. These guys really paid attention and are doing things right. Well, day is dying in the west for sure. Okay, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos, and things are starting to heat up over here. Next time, we'll see the rest of the roofing having to be installed, and then all of the electrical guys will be back in here, and they'll probably, like I say, tomorrow's Friday, and then over the weekend, I'm sure they're going to be out here in force, a couple guys, and they're trying to fit this in between jobs. This is just extra money for them. This is extra money for them, and they happen to know the owners, and they're just fitting it in when they can. And I know they'll do a good job, and they'll get it done. So the electricians are going to be here, and then what else has to happen inside here after the framers leave? Well, yeah, the plumbing contractor's going to be back out here to do all of his top out plumbing. The rough plumbing he's already done. All the rough plumbing was called all the plumbing that was in underneath the house, the stuff that was stubbed up out of the walls, out of the floor, and all that kind of stuff. Now he's going to be getting ready to be here to do his top out plumbing. The top out plumbing means tying into all of his plumbing pipes that are stubbed up out of the walls. Now he's going to have to extend those, get them out of the wall, put his vents on, hook up vents that go all the way up through the roof, and tie all that kind of stuff in, get all that stuff, get his hot and cold water lines out for the showers, for the tubs, for the sinks. All that kind of stuff has to be stubbed out of the walls and ready. That's going to be called the top out plumbing. And we'll see, we'll take a look and see what that's going to look like later. It's getting dark. You're not seeing very much here. Okay, so I'll catch you next time for sure.